Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to create simple plots. First off, let's go ahead and let's import pandas as PD, and then I'm going to import OS as well. Import, come on buddy, OS. Now let's grab our pickle file from this directory, which I do not think I have copied it, so I'm just going to go back to this directory. Here is our data frame pickle. Let's just put it right here. Perfect. So I'm going to say this is going to be our data frame. Now the name of data frame doesn't have to be DF or like data frame itself. It could be anything. I'm just naming it data frame so we know we are on the same page. And I'm going to say pd.read because it's a pickle file. We're going to grab the read pickle API. Let's say .path .join, and then I'm going to grab my data frame. So it is data frame.pickle. Here is our data frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plot based on the acquisition years. So I'm going to grab all the acquisition years and I'm going to create a group for them. I'm going to group our data set by the acquisition years. So it's going to be acquisition years, and I'm going to say df.group by. We have talked about the grouping of our data frame, and I'm going to say acquisition years. Perfect. It's acquisition year, right? And let's grab the size of them. Let's take a look at our acquisition years. I could just copy this and put it right here. Let's run this. So here are our acquisition year column, which have been grouped based on the acquisition years which have been repeated more than once. So we can see for 1826 we have four times it has been repeated. For 2009 we have 1364 artworks which have been acquired on this year. All right, so and we also get the length of this data frame is going to be 178. Now, how can we plot this? It is going to be very simple. Now, I have to tell you that plotting and data visualization, that is not the job of Pandas or NumPy. Pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, and Matplotlib and a couple of others like Seaborn. These packages, they construct something that we call in the Python community the PyData stack. So the PyData stack, it has several packages, several modules. Each of these packages has its own unique job and its own unique features that it brings to the table. As far as Pandas is concerned, Pandas is used for data manipulation, data analysis, data, and all of these kind of data analysis stuff. NumPy is a data computation package. It is used for computational purposes, for like mathematics and machine learning models. As far as Matplotlib is concerned, the job or the task of Matplotlib is to create visualizations from the data that we analyze with Panda, we compute or calculate with NumPy, and we basically create a visualization so we can present it to our team members or to our team leader, and they understand, okay, what is it that we have actually done, what the data is actually telling us in the form of visualizations. Why do we need visualizations or plots or charts? Because they're more memorable. If you take a look at a chart, you will be able to understand easily and way quicker than just looking on a table of numbers. What is the trend? Is the product succeeding or it is failing? That's easier when it is drawn with a chart rather than just like a bunch of numbers in a table. That's why we do visualizations. But again, we can do them with Pandas, but that's not actually what Pandas does. Pandas is used for data analysis and manipulation. But we are gonna, I have actually dedicated a complete essentials course for Matplotlib. We are gonna dissect this package very, very thoroughly, and we are going to talk about all of its component, everything you need to get started. That is also an essentials course, the same way Pandas, NumPy is. So it's like all the previous essentials courses that we have had. But each of them is going to come like after the other. So first you have to understand Pandas, then you have to understand NumPy, because NumPy is what is actually happening under the hood whenever you're working with Pandas. So Pandas is a part of the ecosystem of NumPy. And then after you understand this computational packages, analytical packages, we're going to dive into how you can create visualizations based on the analyses that you have done. So something like that. Now let's grab our acquisition years, and I'm going to basically say plot. When I run this is going to be our very, very simple plot. We have just created the simplest possible plot with Pandas, and this is very, very useful. Now, anyone looking at this plot can immediately tell that there is a single year in which the majority of all the acquisitions happened. This was easy, right? But there are a few things that we could change about this plot. We have the acquisition year name, which doesn't look good, as well as we have no idea on the about the label on the vertical axis. I would also like to increase the horizontal axis granularity so that we have shorter intervals for ticks rather than 25 years after 25 years. So for the x-axis, we can see we have 1825, 1850, 1875. So it's like 25 years. I would like to provide more ticks. These numbers that you see on the x-axis and these dashes, like on the x-axis, they're vertical dashes, very small. On the y-axis, they're horizontal dashes, and in front of them, there are numbers. These are called ticks. And we want to increase the axis granularity, so we have shorter intervals, not 25-year jumps, but maybe 5-year jumps. And the other problem is that this peaks, the peak that we have here after 1850, it's around 1855 or something. It makes what it does is that it is the differences accompanying this peak is very, very short. It's very abrupt. We cannot actually understand what is the difference, where this peak is actually happening. And what I'm actually trying to say is that the peak is so large that it makes our smaller values barely visible. We cannot really understand, okay, what is happening there. And that would mean that we need to change the way our vertical axis it is represented. And we are going to fix all of these in our next couple of lectures. So see you then.